Expert. The Three Gorges Dam is useless against most types of floods. The eye lacks reality and is copied from the Soviet Union. Function of the Three Gorges Reservoir lacked practicality. Early on word said by Stalin and was not fully calculated, so it is not able to prevent flooding and could make it even worse. What role will the reservoir of the Three Gorges project play in the floods of the Yangtze River in 2020? What is the impact of the Three Gorges Dam on the natural river water level? What are the types of floods on the Yangtze River? Why did the reservoirs large and small in the Yangtze River at the critical moment not accumulate floods but discharge them? We do the Chinese people put so much expectations on the flood footing effectiveness of their reservoirs? Vision Times reporter interviewed Zhuang Zuiluk, a famous expert on ecology and hydroelectric engineering in Germany, and clarified the above questions. Trend and the Yangtze River basin are developing rapidly. It's not like with mainland Escarbes. For example, in 1939 the Yangtze River had only wooden boats. There were no such things as the 3010 riverboats from Shanghai to Qingxing. We see today in the 1930s, they had to wait for the water level to be relatively high. Tomave in the dry season, the water level is relatively low where the section of the river is shallow, so it takes man-made intervention to allow ships to move. In other words, there were ships over 3,000 tons that could pass through at the Timor. For example, the Eastern Orienting boat at Deng Xiaoping sailed in 1980 was The 3510 type, almost the same as a type from the 1930 Stancheng Sun proposed for the first time the construction of the Three Gorges project to improve navigation of the channel because in the section of Tai Lang River there is more rock in the middle of the river and the water flow is more chaotic. In dry season the water level is relatively low, so he wanted to build a low dam like thicker and Ditro Dam to make the riverway a little deeper so that ships can pass through. He also said we can generate electricity this way. In 1981, there was no Three Gorges Dam. The floods were greater than 2020, but why was the water level lower than this year? At the time of the fifth flood in Latogas this year, the water flow at the Tantan station reached 4,600 cubic meters per second, according to von Zuiluk. In 1981, 39 years ago, the largest flood flow in the Tantan REACHED 85, 700 cubic meters per second, 11,100 cubic meters per second more than this year. The highest water level WAS 191.41 meters 0.21 meters lower than this year. This year we see that the Three Gorges asterage point for water during floods in 03 and 4 which then got released accumulated a little on rare release because of its tragic capacity. This is a technical aspect of the Three Gorges project. Those who promote the Three Gorges project always use various theories and data to deceive the Chinese people. But just to make it clear, the reservoir of the Three Gorges Dam is too small to hold so much water. Said there are three types of floods in the Yangtze River and the control effectiveness of these three types off Three Gorges Dam limits are of Enrisons. The floods regarding the characteristics of the Yangtze floods. Feng Zuiluk specifically mentioned Mr. Luk Kam Cannon. The interviewer Luk Kam Khan was the first to introduce the concept of three types of floods in the Yangtze River, of which two types of the Three Gorges project have no effect and one type has a limited effect. Murluk has been studying the Yangtze River since the 1930s consider floods in the upstream sections like flood number 5 this year. If there are dams there to hold the water, the larger the water level the greater the discharge will be for the downstream area. Floods in the downstream area like in 2019 do not come from the upstream section of the Three Gorges, so the dam has no effect as for the flood type in the whole basin like 1954. The Three Gorges Dam has less effectiveness to prevent this type of flood because the reservoir capacity of Three Gorges project is too small and the total flood volume at that to me was too large. The reservoir capacity of the Three Gorges project was only 1/10 of total flood volume, but now the dam is of little use. Next.